Good afternoon, gardening friends. First, I want to apologize for not. Oh, wow, I just spotted something. For not releasing an episode last week. In all honesty, I got caught up in a project. I was helping out around here with the safety, the path lighting, and the lighting in the parking lot. Long story short, the guy that used to take care of all of that was also a tenant here, and he passed away about 6 months ago, and it really hadn't been taken care of. So anyway, let's get to gardening here, and ultimately I'm going to release 2 episodes this weekend. One will be the main episode, and the other is going to be another experiment. We'll call it Take 3. So let's take a look at the garden here. The thing that I just spotted is that very last planter on the end. The light that I had in it is, it looks like the top of it is missing, the part that had the actual solar cell and the light. So I'm not sure where they went. I'll look around and see if I find it. But I hadn't spotted that earlier when I was out here working on something else. But we'll take a look. The major sort of progress here, a lot of these pots, the plants in them have died. I've been fortunate that one of the other neighbors here who kind of cleans up around here a lot, they also run the sprinklers from time to time, and they've been running them a bit more frequently out here, which I'm thankful for. And the riverbed project is progressing nicely. It's not all filled in with, a ton of plants and stuff, but the plants that are growing are getting bigger, which is a good thing. They're picking up. There's one that looks like it may have been stepped on by the gardeners. That's an unfortunate loss. I still have a few more seeds. I may spread a little bit more and see how that goes. I need to pull some of the leaves that the gardeners blew into the planters or that fell from the trees. The tree. I need to clean those out. I need to go through the planters and figure out what to replant. I've been learning since I started working the garden over on this side. I've learned kind of what's growing and what isn't, so I'm going to try and consider more carefully what plants I put in there. Let's take a look at a couple of the individual ones, which are the major sort of progress. Okay, so first of all, here's that planter at the end, and I was completely wrong. The head of that light is still there, and this is the yellow wax bean that I had put in. Oh, let's see, what does it say? End of June, and it's now the beginning of September, so that's July, August. It's had 2 months to grow. It's not real tall, but I can see evidence that the water from the sprinklers has been getting to it, so it's not dead. We're going to tend to it a little bit more and see if we can't get it to grow a little bit better. Behind that, let me actually turn you a little bit. So it's kind of in the center at the top. And now you can see a little bit better right in the center of the screen there. That is the purple orchid tree, which has actually grown even taller than I thought. I staked it to try and protect it, and now it's doing better. Let me actually pan up a little more so you can see how tall that has gotten. So that has me happy. So those are the 2 major sort of plants in the garden. The rest of them all need to be kind of reconsidered and figure out what to do with them. I also have one other thing I want to show you. At the end of the last episode, I had told you, hey, I'm gonna, put some dirt down here right along kind of the top of the screen below that stand that you can see there. I had put some soil down and I dropped some seeds in. They were wildflower seeds. I was doing something for a neighbor because she'd provided me with the seeds, and unfortunately I came out about an hour after recording that, and I found that they had run the sprinklers here for whatever reason in this particular zone, and one that I had turned off way back at the beginning of the year was now turned back on, and it washed everything over to the right under that sort of bush that's there. Now actually, if I get in a little closer, I can see that we've got a few little sprouts. Well, now I'm not 100% positive, and I don't know how well you can see. There's a couple little sprouts over by that circular stone on the left, and I can see one off on the right there. That actually looks more like it's just grass. but who knows? All that wonderful soil that I put in there got washed over. So maybe I'll take another stab at this, see if I can improve on it a little bit. But I'm probably going to have to level the soil a little bit better so that when the sprinklers run, they don't just wash it away. Okay, so I had one thing I wanted to try and accomplish today. I've started kind of redoing some of the soil in the riverbed project. And the other thing I want to do is take this can I got at IKEA. It's a garbage can. It's not intended as a planter necessarily, but I think if I drill holes in the bottom of it, it should drain reasonably well, and it's got a good size to it. So what I'm going to do, and here's a little tip for you, if you've just got a simple little, I should probably cover that up, I'm not trying to advertise, a simple little power screwdriver cordless thing, you can actually buy drill bits, and this is unfortunately the thickest one I've got, but you can get the drill bits and they'll actually work. So this is what I'm going to try to do here, is just drill holes in the bottom, and we'll fill her up with soil and see what happens. It's a little hard to do around the camera, so I'm going to stop and come back. Okay, so that takes care of spreading some more topsoil to make the riverbed look more like a riverbed again. And I'm going to sprinkle a few more seeds from what I have left on there to try and grow in some of the areas where nothing's really growing. I tried to build up the soil a little bit more in those areas. And in the back, you can see a black pot now, which is, I drilled probably about 9 holes in there, and they're tiny little holes, but hopefully that'll be enough to drain out. Plus it's bigger, so it'll have more capacity. I still have to decide what I'm going to plant in some of these pots that don't really have anything viable left in them, but we'll cover that next week. Now I have a couple of pleasant little surprises. One, I've got this tree which I transplanted in here and watched as the leaves shriveled up and died. You can still see one kind of hanging on to the right there, but if you look real carefully, you'll see there's new growth at the very top. I knew there was a chance. I didn't know how good a chance it was, but I knew there was a chance that if I just let the old leaves die off, that the plant, in order to survive, would generate some new foliage. So I'm really happy to see that. We're going to leave this pot alone, and we're going to see how well it grows. The other pleasant surprise was that my nasturtium that I planted way back in January, February, March, April. If you can see it, this is 416. And I've been neglecting them, and this is back in the nursery where these sprinklers, when they turn them on, don't really reach, or at least I didn't think they did. But off to the left there, you can see the nasturtium kind of surviving. I've cut off the deadness off of it, and there's something else growing in there. I don't know what it is, but it may be a seed that I spread at one point and was hoping would grow, and now is. Who knows? We'll find out, but I'm happy to see life. And that's pretty much it. Let me think. Oh yeah, I do have a picture of the week. Actually, it's a video of the week. Among all the crazy things I was doing this week, I found myself late at night at my parents' place helping rebuild the filter for the swimming pool. And as I was putting the diatomaceous earth back into the filter, which if you've dealt with a pool, you know what I'm talking about. As I was putting that back in, sitting at the skimmer, I looked over and I could see where I had turned on the light in the swimming pool. We have like a light in there. There was just, as the pump was running, there's this beautiful shimmer on the water. And my camera here doesn't capture night scenes all that well, but I thought that looked pretty nice. So that's pretty much it for this week. Next week, hopefully I'll have a bunch of little updates as I rebuild things. So until next time, this is the Budget Gardener signing off, saying may your thumb be green.